Now at 6, police track down a suspect in a deadly hit and run in southeast Portland. This morning, we're hearing from a woman who witnessed the chaotic crash. And a bizarre break-in. A Gresham couple discovers a man hiding underneath their home.
I was crawling right here when I saw eyes blinking off of my flashlight.
And this strange burglary gets even weirder. We'll explain. Plus, making art as the clock ticks. In a new Sunrise 60, we'll show you how you can watch hundreds of artists craft a masterpiece in just a single hour. And grab your floats. Drew is drifting down the Willamette with the founder of the Big Float. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now.
And let us start with this look at the Willamette River. That is the sun, my friends, that I see in the background there behind the city. Sun won't be sticking around for long, though, according to Rod Hill, his forecast in a moment.
How about right now? Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Happy Tuesday. Get outside, exercise, do everything you can right now because later today it's going to be a deluge.
Or you could just sleep in and then do nothing later today, too. That's my advice.
I'm all for it.
Okay. The clouds just now starting to come in, and they're giving us kind of a pretty sunrise look this morning. But those clouds will quickly thicken. Here's a view from the Rose City Olympic Mills Commerce Center. We're at 61 degrees. So today quickly becomes overcast. 69 at lunchtime, still dry. The mid to late afternoon, the rain starts to move in to the valley, about 67 at 5 p.m. How wet will it be? This is dinner time, 6 p.m. This is not showery activity. This is widespread rain, and where you see the yellow coming down pretty good in spots too. Here's Chris.
All right, starting to back up pretty good on the Banfield. Let's take you there live. I-84 westbound got a 3-car fender bender just prior to 82nd Avenue, left lane blocked right now. And as we go back through the Gateway District, you get a feel for what these drivers are suffering through right now. I-84 westbound, again, plan maybe a few extra minutes there if you're about to hit the road. Of course, the trip out of Clark County also building on I-5 southbound. We'll look at those drive times in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Chris. Portland police took a suspect into custody for a deadly hit and run. It happened here at 148th and Powell Boulevard. Witnesses tell us they saw at least one car speeding down Powell, and then moments later a crash involving at least 6 cars. One person died and at least one other was hurt. Police say one person ran away from the scene, and then not long after that, Sky 8 captured officers arresting a man hiding in a backyard pool about a mile from the crash. They haven't confirmed he's the driver. They just are calling him a suspect. We are expecting to get more information later today. But first, coming up at 6:30, Christine Pitawanich will have more from bystanders who jumped into action to help those victims.
All right, out to the coast now, and look at this photo. If you look closely, you can see a plane that crash landed on the sand of Newport on the Oregon coast. 3 people are recovering this morning. This was near South Beach State Park. The pilot and 2 passengers were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. No word on what caused the plane to make that crash landing.
We're going to take you to the state capitol now. Republican State Senator Beau Quist will need to notify the Capitol 12 hours in advance every time he plans on being there. And when he is there, state police will beef up its presence. Those new rules come from the Senate Special Committee on Conduct in response to comments Beau Quist made during the GOP walkout over cap and trade. Beau Quist warned if the governor sent state police after them, that she should send bachelors and they should come heavily armed. The implication there being that they wouldn't survive. They'd be in a world of hurt if they came after him. Beau Quist testified at the hearing as well yesterday and announced that he is suing the state Senate and Senate President Courtney.
On Friday, I filed a lawsuit in the civil court against the Honorable Peter Courtney, and many of those involved today are listed in the lawsuit. I look forward to seeing this matter in the court. Thank you. Gentlemen, have a good day.
Beau Quist also questioned the legality of the governor's order to send the state police to find the GOP senators who fled Salem last month.
Back here in Portland, Mayor Ted Wheeler is speaking to the media for the first time since left and right-wing groups clashed in downtown Portland just a couple of weeks ago. Now, the mayor says moving forward, the city will handle these kinds of protests differently. He didn't offer policy proposals, but he said he would talk with police, business, community, and civil rights leaders about how to better control future protests. Wheeler repeatedly said violence will not be tolerated.
My message is the same to everyone. My message is the same. If you are coming here under the guise of First Amendment rights to assembly and free speech, but your actual objective is to commit acts of violence or engage in a street brawl, I absolutely condemn that 100%.
Police Chief Danielle Outlaw did bring up one idea to cut down on violence. She wants to ban face masks. Mayor Wheeler said he's not ready to voice an opinion on that quite yet, adding it could face some legal challenges.
Now to national headlines in your morning rush, and President Trump is declaring a state of emergency for California following 2 major earthquakes and thousands of aftershocks. This means those hit hardest by the damage could get federal aid. A magnitude 6.4 quake Thursday and a 7.1 quake Friday night damaged many homes and roads in and around the Mojave Desert towns of Ridgecrest and Trona. The nation's capital was hit by historic flash flooding yesterday. Nearly 3.5 inches of rain hit the Washington, D.C. area in just 2 hours, drenching the city and stranding cars in high water. Parts of Maryland remain under a flood warning this morning. U.S. Attorney General William Barr says he sees a way forward for adding a citizenship question to the 2020 census. He didn't give any details, but says he believes it's possible to address the concerns that led the Supreme Court to block the question. Opponents argue the question will discourage participation in mostly Democrat immigrant communities. After an incredible run at Wimbledon, American teenager Coco Gauff is out of the tournament. The 15-year-old lost yesterday to Simona Halep after making it to the final 16. Gauff was playing in her first Grand Slam after becoming the youngest tennis player to win a match in the tournament since 1991. You can hear from her coming up this morning on the Today Show. And the U.S. women's soccer team back on American soil after winning a record 4th World Cup title on Sunday. The players flew into Newark, New Jersey and greeted fans with a chorus of Queen's "We Are the Champions." New York will hold a parade for the team tomorrow. And that's your Morning Rush.
Like, why did he need to do this?
Yeah, why is a good question, because this next story is a weird one. A Gresham couple found a strange, that's putting it lightly, a strange burglar in their new home. So this couple had just started moving into the house. They just had a wedding shower, and then they discovered this break-in. KGW's Dan Haggerty has the details.
We kept seeing different signs of someone being in the house.
When Timothy Smith and his fiancee got home, they first noticed there was stuff in their house that definitely wasn't theirs.
Go into the garage, find needles just like strewn about.
Then they found the damage.
This is exactly how it looked when I walked into the bathroom.
A mirror ripped down, holes kicked in the walls, and there's more.
He took his clothes off and tried to run a wash, like he went through our washer and dryer to see what kind of clothes we had. Made himself a cup of coffee. He ate 2 cupcakes, drank a bunch of my beer from the wedding shower the night before.
Just made himself?
He just made himself at home. Played my video games, made himself at home.
And just as they were trying to figure out what in the world was happening,
and she heard movement underneath the floors.
They realized something was in their crawl space. So Timothy went to investigate.
I was crawling right here when I saw eyes blinking off of my flashlight. And it was a cat with a shirt on.
That's right. This cat wearing one of Timothy's dog's shirts. But it got even stranger when they looked around the corner.
He was wearing my fiance's onesie.
Timothy found a man wearing a Christmas onesie like this one that he pulled out of the laundry.
It blows my mind. I don't have the words to describe the feeling.
Police say it was 38-year-old Ryan Bishop hiding in the house. They got him out and arrested him for burglary and criminal mischief.
How many times did we ask what during that story? So Dan Haggerty had that report for us, and we have an update on the cat, at least the cat. Yeah. So the homeowner says the cat that we just heard about in the story belongs to the suspect's grandmother. Are you following? And
just carrying it with him.
And now the cat is back home with the grandmother.
I'm just surprised that the homeowner went into the crawl space.
Right.
Oh, no. That is my
sounds?
911 call.
Yeah.
I'm not going to check it out.
I'm surprised somebody's still wearing their Christmas onesie in July.
I know, right? It has been a little cool this summer.